wasn't great, but it was July was better than June. August was good, and then September's off to a strong start. But in terms of coming into the start of the summer, yeah, the weather was not on
Yeah.
our side.
You're not the only one that said that actually when and you probably can't see it, but a lot of the attractions had mentioned that when we went by month, May was down for most. It was the summer that they started to see the numbers go up.
Mm.
Anybody else have a similar experience?
Hi there, I'm Raf Melito from Peterborough Music Fest. We're an outdoor music festival in Peterborough, Ontario. And I would say that we had expected an increase because of all the discussion about the staycations, and we're in cottage country. So we're like, oh, this is going to be like the biggest season we've had yet. But our numbers were stable,
Oh, okay.
totally stable. So we
It's always
had
the same.
yeah, so I guess the expectations compared to the expectations, it was low, but compared to previous seasons, we saw sort of stability in our numbers. So when we compare the number of concerts that we had one less than usual this year because of where Canada Day landed. We had sort of a unexpected turnout for our numbers. So we're very pleased with that, but it was just a bit of a change from what our expectations were before the season started because of all that discussion. So
Mm.
I would say for us, weather was a factor where in previous years it's usually rain because we're outdoors and we go rain or shine. But the heat definitely, I think, had an impact on people leaving their homes because really like our temperatures were around 30 degrees or so at concert time, which is 8 p.m. So a lot of people don't like being out in that heat, especially the older crowd. So that was our experience.
Interesting. Thank you for sharing. And I think you're right. A lot of people did also mention weather as being a factor, whether it made their attendance numbers higher or lower. Attendance definitely was a factor. Um, Speaking about attendance numbers, how did your summer 2025 attendance compare to last year? And were there any specific weeks or weekends that you noticed unusually high or low attendance numbers?
So I can jump in here and share how it went down for us here at Science North. So my name is Kate Govero. I'm the Senior Manager of On-Site Business and Services Development for Science North. So we had actually a really great summer. Overall, we trended about 14% increase in attendance over last year. So that was really, really great. Although we fell a little bit behind where we were hoping to in terms of our budget, we're still really happy to see that we increased. July was definitely a great month for us and a little bit busier. And then things kind of tapered out towards the end of August. So we actually normally see more of a spike in August, and this year was a little bit different. So we saw less of that. And then in terms of weather, we had some impacts there as well. So we, as an indoor attraction, rely heavily on it to rain.
Mhm.
And I don't think we booked in it like one solid day of rain. So we had a few, cloudy mornings or cloudy afternoons, but overall it was an absolutely gorgeous summer. So we saw a lot of our folks were outside rather than with us.
Mhm.
But overall, we're happy with the increase over last year.
Oh, good.
I'm happy to jump in here too. My name is Ryan. I'm from Reptilia. We have locations in Vaughan, Whitby, and London, and I think our experience is very similar to Kate's. We had some great growth in our Whitby location. Vaughan and London fell a little farther than we were hoped. We do rely on rain as well because we're an indoor attraction. However, our camp programs were at an all-time high, so that was nice. But overall, the summer was okay.
Okay, so you would say your summer was better this year than last year, or about the same?
About the same. In in
About the
in
same.
Whitby, in Whitby, we definitely had some
Hi,
significant
yeah.
growth, but Vaughan and London not as much.
Okay, interesting.
Can I jump in with a question for Ryan quickly, just about your camps? Are those like week-long programs that you saw an increase in?
Yeah, so our camps run Monday to Friday, and we had significant growth numbers. These are our highest camp numbers we've ever had.
Okay, well, that's great to hear. I just see someone in the chat asked, they kind of missed where you're from, Ryan.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. So my name is Ryan. I'm the general manager for Reptilia.
Reptilia. Very cool. Thank you.
Had you done anything specifically different, Ryan, for to see that growth, or was it just
No,
more?
no, I don't think so. I think a lot of it is the fact that we continually produce consistent success every year, so the kids want to come back. We make sure it's fun. They have a good time. They want to return. But this year was really wild. The bookings, like we had to turn kids down a few times.
And was this all of the locations?
Yeah, all of them.
Hmm. Thank you.
Hey folks, I maybe bring a bit of a different perspective because we're just brand new. So my name's John and I'm with the Hologram Zoo in Niagara Falls. I sell the franchise in Canada and I also joined the Niagara Falls location as a partner. So it was definitely very busy, June, July, August, but it wasn't exactly what we expected. We were expecting it to be much busier. And I'm not sure if there's any Niagara Falls folks here or not, but when we were chatting to people, they said it was way low, maybe one of the worst years since COVID.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can agree there. Like when we talk to other attractions who are nearby us, like Flying Squirrel, things like that, they say this is one of the worst summers they've had.
Ryan from Glow Zone here, both Brampton and Mississauga. Not our worst, but definitely down 10 to 12%. And I even had met with some of the other local aerosports, trampoline, treetop trekking, other places experiencing similar shortfalls over this past summer.
This is
Yeah.
weird because this contradicts what our survey
Yeah.
results told us.
I just wonder if the people I speak to didn't fill in the survey. I don't know, but as like looking in Brampton and Mississauga specifically for Glow Zone, because I have facts. It's the walk-ins are down, birthday parties are down a little bit, but we don't do a lot of birthday parties. But what's interesting is we found our average birthday party size went down. So for example, if we do, birthday parties and we average, 13 and a half to 14 per party, it's now down to that 11 and a half. So is it parents still having birthday parties, not spending as much money because they're bringing less kids to a birthday party? That's one other minor but contributing factor to our percentage of falling short this past summer.
I'm really intrigued about the Niagara Falls stuff because earlier on I'd heard from members down there that said they were having a great summer. And then I mentioned that to somebody and they said, well, we don't know who you're talking to because, like you just said, Niagara was having one of their worst. And I was just down in Niagara Falls 2 weeks ago. And I mean, there were a lot of US license plates, more than I've seen in the last couple of years. But we were also recently looking for a hotel booking for a upcoming hockey tournament, and there was a lot of discussion on the review sites anyway of recent stuff for this summer of a lot of last minute cancellation of hotel rooms because they were hosting people who'd been displaced by the forest fires in Manitoba. And when we were talking to some of our attractions, it's like, why are they coming to a tourist zone when there are probably other parts of Ontario that would have had accommodations available so that you didn't have to cancel people that ultimately would have come out to our attractions? Is that something you've heard in Niagara?
So I actually live in Manitoba. Um, I understand my accent isn't very Manitoban. Um, but definitely the times when I was out in Niagara this summer, it was lots of folks who had been displaced. And same here in Manitoba, like every hotel, Winnipeg or Brandon or wherever you go. So I think that was maybe a factor for sure. I saw lots of folks from the US, so I was a little confused as well as to whether or not they were holding back because of everything going on. It seemed like there was lots of people from the US. So I don't know. We're just learning. It's our first year.
Hmm.
I wonder if there's a case of, a lot of people are still going and visiting the falls, but not necessarily spending the same amount of money at those add-on attractions because they think, there's with any talks of tariffs either here or in the US, people are wary of spending more money. And I can say some other tour operators that we've spoken to, uh, both in Ontario and Canada in general, would say they're down. On last year.
Mhm.
So
It's interesting. You say that we found that our per person spending in all facilities is way up.
okay.
So we're having reduced admission a little bit, but the actual spending per person is up significantly. So I'm sort of wondering that if we're actually condensing people who have disposable income and receiving more of them as admissions versus people with maybe a lower income. Um, yeah, the trends are very strange.
Yeah, that's what we found. I find whenever we survey our members, at the end of it, people go, "So what are the trends?" And I'm like, "Damned if I know," because they're all over the place, right? Like,
Yeah.
yeah, it's hard to be able to definitively predict what's going on, and we want to break down this regionally a little bit more, which is why we had the focus group, is to hear from you, and give us some more insights beyond just what the survey results would share.
I don't
But
know if it's I don't know if it's mentioned on there, but do you know off the top of your head like how many members filled in the survey?
It was 40.
Okay.
yeah, so not very
Oh,
many.
it's just a small amount.
Yeah, but I
And
mean,
most from the GTA.
yeah.
Um, Anecdotally, again, talking about Niagara, though, it might be what you said, Ava, about maybe they're only focusing on certain attractions, because if you watch the city sightseeing tour boat, the Maid of the Mist out of the U.S. was about 2/3 full. The city sightseeing or city cruises out of the Canadian side was packed. So every boat that went out of those were completely full. So they probably were having a really good year. So it may have been that people did come to Niagara, they did go to see the falls, and they just chose less attractions to partake in. So maybe the iconic attractions like the cruise boat and some of the Niagara Park stuff saw really strong numbers, and some of the um, other attractions maybe didn't translate. I don't know. People could be.
Definitely in our case, we're building awareness as a new business. We're not directly on Clifton Hill, so we're just, a 5-minute walk, which surprisingly makes all the difference.
Yes.
But even attractions that were fairly close to us and have been open for many years, they were sort of saying it was quiet. But I agree with what you say. I think there's a core of things that people do, and those are the things that they really want to do, and maybe the extra stuff is,
We
yeah,
we did hear from one attraction that is just off of Clifton Hill, and they were saying that they were really struggling. Clifton
struggling.
Hill Clifton Hill might be busy, but yeah, take that 5-minute turn off of it, and
Yeah.
there's not many people there. I noticed
Hmm.
the parking lots weren't as full as I've seen them in the past, but again, there were more U.S. license plates in those parking lots.
And we can't make sense of it yet, but we were really busy during the week. And on the weekends, we weren't busy. So we were like, we sort of thought it should be the reverse.
Maybe the weekends is when locals go down, and less
Could
locals
be.
went down because they thought it
Yeah.
would be busy.
That's a good point.
Or they
Yeah.
couldn't get a hotel room.
Yeah.
Um, okay, so the next question that we have is, did you see any changes in your advanced bookings versus walk-ups? I guess we kind of, yeah, did anybody see any uptick or any change? Were you getting more walk-ups versus advanced bookings, or did you see more bookings ahead of time?
We're an outdoor primarily kind of activity, and so a lot of people wait to see kind of what the weather is looking like, whether they buy same day online or not. I think the only thing we noticed was a bit of an increase in the window for booking our night tour, which was a new product last year. Nothing groundbreaking, but that certainly grew a little bit, which was nice to see. But yeah, for the most part, um, people are waiting to see the weather.
Yeah. Okay, thanks, Aoife. Versus visitor demographics and behaviors. Have you noticed any shifts in the demographics of your visitors? So, I mean, we did touch on this, but have we seen more families, international tourists, local day trippers? Who are you seeing was the biggest change or surprise that you saw an increase in? with your attendance?
Change.
Same for everybody?
Yeah, like ours really hasn't changed.
Okay.
We very consistently stick with, families with younger kids.
Right.
Yeah, it
And
doesn't really change.
Ryan, you did mention that you did see a change in how much they were spending. So that was actually my next question.
Absolutely.
So they were spending more. So the people that were coming were spending more per person, you were mentioning. Has anybody else seen that?
We saw a similar uptick at Science North
Yeah.
across all of our businesses. Yeah, all of our per caps went up, which was great.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was wonderful.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're not complaining about it.
Did anybody get any feedback from their visitors? And that you might want is worth mentioning?
Not related to this.
No?
Has anybody heard people complaining about hotel room prices in Toronto? That's
Yeah,
something
likely.
and we haven't heard it specifically, but I just every so often I'll see a hotel price, and I don't know how families are spending more than a day or two here. But yeah, it just seems.
So the hotel prices are high, particularly in Toronto, and I think they're high in Niagara as well. And that would be
And
a
yet they must be having a high enough,
booking.
yeah, there must be an occupancy rate that's high enough to justify that, or they would be lowering it, I would suspect. But so somebody's paying for it.
Yeah. Challenges. What were your biggest operational challenges this summer? Staffing, capacity, costs, transportation. Were there any unexpected challenges related to the changing visitor behavior? And how did you adapt to these challenges? I,
I think for us, like a lot of uncertainty about the US traveler. And it was, yeah, so we may have done a little bit more local marketing, but yeah, there's kind of an apprehension, uh, more so. We haven't really seen the not revenge travel, but all the people who were going to go to the US coming to
yeah.
Canada instead. Now I say that, but August had picked up, and September's so far is looking quite strong. So maybe that's that late kind of summer European traveler. Fingers crossed. But yeah, for the first part of the summer, we weren't seeing that kind of American replaced by anybody else, and we were noticing that the American numbers were down. So
Yeah, that's interesting because the survey did mention that they did see a lot of US travelers in particular, or again, the survey did say though that attendance numbers were up and it was from the US travelers and from the local market. So I wonder where they were going. I'll have to look into that.
I
Anybody
mean,
else?
when the New York when the Yankees were in town, yeah, loads of
Yeah.
Americans. It was a great weekend.
Yeah.
And then I think most of the games were at like 7 p.m., which was nice.
Yeah, they're all 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's extra nice for us when they're at 3 o'clock and 1 o'clock in the day, and it's not a great team. All it does is cause traffic headache.
Yeah, and they're not visiting anywhere beforehand,
Uh,
right?
so, that was great. So it's not that there was none. We just we're seeing.
It wasn't as much as they were forecasting, I guess, at the beginning of the summer. Emerging trends. Did you notice new trends in visitor expectations or behavior, interest in digital tools, family-friendly programming, sustainability, experiential add-ons? Are there any programs or promotions you tried this summer that seemed to resonate especially well with visitors? So did anybody try anything new that you think may have factored into some new visitors, or did you all just do what you were always doing?
No, we did. So uh, traditionally, as far as birthday parties go, the smallest party package size we offer is a 20 person. But we really had a lot of inquiries this year about smaller packages. I think that families still want to celebrate, but they're definitely doing a little bit less. So we implemented a few new packages that picked up very quickly, and they're still outbooking almost every other package. So
So your packages normally had 20 people were allowed to go, and then you like
yeah,
lessened it.
and now we have an even smaller size, and it's like it's currently outbooking everything.
Hmm.
So people definitely still want to celebrate and get out with the kids, um, but
And it's probably
they want to
cheaper,
save.
right? It's
It's
probably
definitely
less. Yeah.
it's definitely cheaper. Yeah,
Yeah.
but it seems to matter a lot because I mean, even today I looked like between today and yesterday, like people booked a lot of them.
Hmm. Okay, so that change did result in more bookings.
Yeah,
Anybody
absolutely.
anybody else do anything different this summer? Or and that maybe you changed it and maybe even led maybe less bookings, more bookings. Anybody else?
It was kind of unrelated to a reaction of what was going on to something we were planning to try anyway. But we did a new tour this year that went out the east side of Toronto. Um, it was pretty nice to see, and we saw some more locals on that, and
Mhm.
yeah, it was interesting to try it.
And will you continue doing it? It was successful.
Yeah, it was only up until Labor Day, and we've extended it for Saturdays through September. But yeah, we'll be looking at bringing it back in some iteration next year. Um, it's just a matter of like whether it becomes part of a hop on hop off, or because this year it wasn't. It was just like a closed loop. But um, yeah, we'll just have a look.
Hmm. Interesting. Um, we are just going through this focus group so quickly. Thanks. Um, okay, so moving and looking towards your 2026, what strategies are you considering for next summer based on what you've learned this year? And are there areas where Attractions Ontario could help let that maybe through marketing, advocacy, member to member collaboration? Um, is there any way that we can work together or that you are looking towards for 2026 that we could help with or anything like that? Or has
I mean,
anybody got new plans for next year that you want to talk about that you think might impact or have a impact on your numbers for next year based on what you saw this year?
truthfully, I think like all the contests and the promotions and all that stuff is wonderful. I mean, like as you know, I participate in all of them.
Yes. Thank you.
Yeah, I think that's a really great thing. Even more stuff like that that could just boost awareness of different attractions is entirely beneficial.
Great. So keep on doing what we're doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Awesome.
We've seen there's lots of folks offering interesting marketing solutions, but we're just trying to learn about them all. So whatever opportunities you have, we're definitely interested to learn about.
Yes, we have lots of opportunities that we put out. Many are no cost other than the actual donation of the tickets
Okay.
to get your name out there. We do lots of contests, as Ryan mentioned. I think John, you have been in some of our contests.
I think we have done a bit. Yeah,
You're
yeah, for
still
sure.
new to Attractions Ontario, so you'll start to see all my emails and you'll see the newsletters, and there's a lot of opportunities for everybody here to get your name out there and to be promoted with Attractions Ontario, whether it be on social media, on our events, through contesting, things like that. But if there's anything else that you guys are doing with somebody else or that you are thinking could be beneficial to help promote, we'd love to know.
Well, and hey, don't forget Ontario's Choice.
Oh,
We had
yes, we have a
our
few
highest
winners
number of
here,
votes
actually.
ever. We had a few winners on the call, but it's also a way to use that in your marketing
Yeah,
that helps you stand apart from other people that may be competitors or anything of that nature. And I know some people have used it very effectively. Um, I was on the city sightseeing tour bus this summer, and Ava, you guys have done a great job. It's in your maps, it's on stickers on your buses
Oh yeah,
themselves,
absolutely. And
encouraging people. But that's just the extra kind of awareness that helps drive what you guys are doing. And I know Casa Loma, for one, I think they won a few years ago, and it's still front and center in all their advertising that they were the indoor venue, even though they haven't won in years because they don't put the date on it. They just say that, hey, we've won this. It's a great added thing, and I think everybody should be. We really need even more. I think we only had about 100 members out of 500, close 600 members. So we need more of them. You guys need to use that and promote it and push it. And I think that's a great underutilized thing that we do.
Yes.
I've just unmuted myself here to comment about itineraries. I think that, as someone who engages with a lot of travel accounts and tourism accounts, I love a good itinerary that links attractions together. It's like, just tell me what to do for the weekend. Like, show me how to experience an area, or like if I'm really into reptiles, for example, it's like, how can I hit all the reptile places? Or if I'm a family looking for activities, like, I just love those itineraries. And as a free admission music festival in a busy tourist area, I just love being able to connect with the other attractions in the area to make us a destination for the weekend, for a day trip. But I find that that's something that we're really looking to engage with other partners to make ourselves part of something bigger than just ourselves.
Well, we do have our road trip planning website, OntarioRoadTrips.ca. There are itineraries on there. We need to be doing more of them, obviously. We're undertaking, looking at right now, to add AI to both of our websites that would allow our AI planner to help people plan better itineraries around things like that. Like, where can I do this? Oh, well, here's a list. Because the functionality on our road trip planner site is it was great when it was first designed 4 or 5 years ago, but it's kind of fallen by the wayside. So we need to be working on that. But itineraries, you're right. Those are the kind of things, those suggestions to people really can drive tourism, especially if we are linking in some lesser known attractions with a few key anchor attractions that everybody recognizes. They get to see, wow, I can do all that. And more destination driven types of itineraries, right? Like every DMO should have this is what you can do on a day trip here. This is what a weekend looks like. This is what a week looks like, and all the things that you can do. So I think part of it too is engaging more with the DMOs to help create that kind of, here we are. And I mean, we've got all our DMOs and destinations available on our website too. We'd like to see those listings become a little bit more robust from the DMOs.
Yeah, so that was a great suggestion, and I agree that itineraries are a great way for people to learn about new places. And as Attractions Ontario, we always say you want to put our partners, all of our members, you want to put them together so people can come to the location and experience all the attractions in the area. Okay, so we're already at the wrap-up point. If you had one piece of advice for fellow attractions planning for next summer, what would it be? And does anybody have any last observations or insights about what we have covered?
I feel like saying come back to me in the mid-October because I want to see how the next 4 weeks go. And if this really is if the September trend is looking better, I'm going to feel a lot better about next year than just because it's been going steadily back up after the cold month of May. But yeah, I guess that's kind of where my mind is at right now.
I guess you're hoping for good weather then next year too.
Yeah, and I mean this year was
In May at least.
last year was rainy in the summer, which affects us.
I
The
guess
year
that's
before
true.
it goes into rain at night, which was amazing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean there's some things that are a little out of control and we can't tell too far ahead of time.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, we'll keep our fingers crossed for a mild spring.
Back when we still had an office, your tour buses drove by it, and we would always use your tour bus as an indicator of how things were going, right? So if the top deck was full, we went, oh, things are going great right now in tourism locally. And if it was only, a third full, we're like, ooh. So you were always our judge because we could see you from our window, right? Like,
Yeah, I love that.
Does anybody have anything that they want to mention about their summer numbers or anything that they think is interesting before we finish up? Not everybody has had a chance to say something. So if you haven't yet said anything and there's something that you would like to mention about your particular attraction and the numbers that you saw, we'd love to hear from you.
I can share some data that we got from our summer survey that we put out. Sorry, I'm Julia. I'm the senior manager of marketing here at Science North. We got responses from 260 people, which was great. And we wanted to ask a couple marketing questions about when they start planning their summer vacations and travel itineraries. I should also say that the majority of our visitors are coming from Northeastern Ontario. I quickly looked at our postal code data for the summer yesterday, and the trend is pretty standard. We didn't really see much like a drastic change anywhere. It's usually Northeastern Ontario, some Northwest, some Central, like Muskoka area. And then it kind of goes down from there to Southern Ontario. But so we asked, when do you normally start planning for your summer activities and or travel? The top one was 71 people said 3 to 5 months before, followed by 68 at 1 to 2 months before. So kind of in between that, like I guess that average is like 3 months. And then we also asked, when did you make your decision to visit Science North or Dynamic Earth specifically? And the highest rated one at 62 people was less than 1 week before their visit. So they're planning early, but they're kind of making their decision last minute. And
perhaps they're picking their destination first and then they're deciding what they want to do.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I will also say that the majority of the postal code data from this survey was like quite local as well. Local as in, probably within like an hour from us, an hour or two, like North Bay and stuff. But just interesting and interesting for like when you should be in the market, right? To promote your summer stuff.
Does Science North see a lot of people from the GTA?
No, not as much as we want. I would say that that's like our number one challenge is Toronto. There's just too much to do down there. We want them to come to us.
You might have to put a hologram zoo in, Julia.
How cool would that be?
Very cool. Very cool.
We do want to look at our data a bit more in terms of postal codes. Like I'd be interested to see like taking the average of this year and last year and seeing if there was an increase. So yeah.
Interesting. Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. Does anybody else have any numbers that they wanted to share while we're all here about their numbers this year? Or any trends that you've noticed?
Like we're a brand new business and we opened the door and with very minimal marketing had an extremely successful 2.5 months. So Julia's point about people, and it makes sense, planning 3 to 5 months in advance. I see there's definitely a timing cycle to people's awareness of attractions and things like that. So yeah, hopefully that helps us.
Yeah.
now that we're open and people will know over the next 6 months, and then when it gets busy again, then
Yes. Yes, hopefully. And how did you get your name out there to get for the last 2 months?
so part of why I joined my folks who opened the zoo there in Niagara is marketing is not necessarily their strength. So they had done very little. I think they did a bunch of stuff with some sort of local organizations, press releases, a little bit of digital marketing. So it's been quite minimal. I think as they start to add marketing solutions, it'll really improve. So I think word of mouth, organic, sort of that local type stuff from like economic development there in Niagara Falls and different things like that.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Thank you.
no worries.
Um, okay, so if one last chance, anybody else want to mention any of their numbers? I know we did hear from a lot of you. But anything interesting that you noticed about your attraction this year that might be that we would all also find interesting, I'm sure. No? Okay. Well, then I think we're done. So I thank all of you for joining us. I hope that you all learned something from this. I know we did. Um, I found your responses interesting. It definitely did have some difference from what our survey told us. So I don't know what that says, but I appreciate all of you joining us and for sharing your insights.
And we're going to use this information. We've also did a survey of our Canadian Attractions Network members. So these are attractions across the country, and we're going to merge the two together. We're going to send the federal numbers or the Canada-wide numbers on to TIAC and to the Minister of Tourism there. We will also be sharing our results from this focus group plus our survey on to TIO, to Destination Ontario, and to the minister's office as well. So they can just get an insight of to what's been happening on the ground and what you are all saying about how the summer went. Because again, they operate in their own isolationist bubbles and they may hear different things than what we've got to say. I mean, even the disparity that we're hearing from what people on the focus group are telling us based on what we saw in the survey, it's going to be, I think, an interesting process for us to try to rationalize the two and come up with a truer picture of what things are like this year. So just wanted to let you know where this is going to be used. It's not just merely, thanks, you told us a bunch of stuff and now we'll all forget about it and go back to our
Also, I should have mentioned this at the beginning, and I apologize that I didn't. This is recorded. This focus group is being recorded, and we usually do share it on our YouTube channel. So if anybody has an issue with that, you can email me and let me know. But otherwise, we can find this on our YouTube. Oh, somebody said something here. Yeah, definitely it would be skewed by who filled it in. We'll have to take a look. Like I did mention, a lot of it was GTA. I'll have to take a look and see if it was more indoor versus outdoor attractions. It can definitely make a difference. And it was only 40 out of 500 members. So, yeah.
Yeah. We had a comment over here. Oh, sorry, Julia. There's a couple of us in the room. We had a comment over here, just Sarah is sitting beside me, and she said she wondered if there was a way to get more members to fill it in by making it somehow like a mandatory thing to do if you're an agency that is involved in Attractions Ontario, or if there's like some sort of incentive to get more people to fill it in. Because I mean, it's clear that like I would think that it's going to be skewed just based on who's filling it in, especially if you have more GTA. Like you're not going to get the little places that are seeing like the difference in the weather is a perfect example, especially in Northern Ontario. Like we say we need rain up here, and we do because people like to be outside because we have crap winter. And so when you have long crap winter, people are totally fine going outside when it's 35 degrees because there are 300 lakes here and they just go to the beach and they're fine with that. So I think there's like a big discrepancy just in terms of what we're seeing, which probably accounts for the difference in a lot of the comments that we have here today versus what you're seeing. Anyway, also I'm at Science North and I'm manager of research and evaluation here, by the way. So my data brain is just kind of rolling and I'm just thinking about all the things that everyone is saying. So
With our
just having
surveys,
some thoughts there.
with our surveys, because we do them quite often, sometimes we've offered incentives and it's worked, and other times they offer the incentive and it doesn't. Sometimes we'll put out a survey, we think, oh wow, this will generate a lot of interest, and it doesn't. And then we'll throw out a throwaway survey, and suddenly we'll have
100,
90
yeah.
people that have done it. So even our surveys that we do are never consistent. So we're always like, the results are always interesting because
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever had a survey where we've been able to go, well, that's a really strong, clear indication of what the data is out there. We now know. Usually we're like, I have no idea what to do with this findings.
I think I was going to say the same thing as Katrina. Is it possible just to make at least this one annual survey is a requirement of being a member?
We can't make
it's only
anything
one
a
survey.
requirement. We get extreme pushback whenever we try to make things even slightly mandatory.
I think what you do, Troy, is you hold back the reciprocal program to all of the attractions until knowing that they complete the survey. Because I think you talk about what percentage of attractions are filling in the surveys. Well, what percentage are taking advantage of the reciprocal program?
A lot of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So those want access, the password that they get sent out. You don't get the password unless we confirm you filled in your survey. And watch how quickly you get your results.
Yeah, but then we'll just get, half filled out survey responses. We get that too, where they answer the first question and then nothing. And you're like, well, that didn't help. So
I think we did something like that at the Toronto Attractions Council at one point for you had to attend X number of meetings a year because we wanted engagement. Like we weren't charging anything for this, but like wanted engagement. And I swear to God, there was members who would come in, sign in the morning, and leave within 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So if someone's not engaged, they're not going to be engaged.
We tried to do the same with our coupon reports. That if you didn't report your coupon numbers to us, you weren't in the guide next year. That never worked. Right? And at the end of the day, we're not going to turn down a sale because you didn't give us the numbers last year. So we've tried various things to try to increase engagement, and we'll just keep rolling the dice. Like I expected this one would have been higher than 40. I was a little surprised that the numbers were as low. We even sent it out a second time as a reminder. It could have been, though, due to the time of year, right? People are busy. It's the end of the season. They've just had Labor Day. Everybody's taking a deep breath and going, whew, okay. Perhaps if we'd asked 2 weeks later, we would have gotten more.
Well, is it too late? Is it worth not holding off on sending it out in the next newsletter and trying it again at the end of September or something?
I mean, we can push it out again.
I don't know.
You can, and we usually send. Well, did you all see it? It would all have gone to you. No, interesting.
No, I didn't see
everybody
it.
on this actually filled it out.
I was going to say I didn't fill it out. I'll just confess because I didn't see it. And so I don't know if it came in just as our season was wrapping and mayhem. But I didn't see it. So when I saw this come out, I'm like, oh, there was a survey. Oh,
I wonder if it's going to your junk mail because it's going directly from SurveyMonkey, and I wonder if perhaps it's hitting people's. It's not hitting.
It's possible, and I haven't checked my junk folder since our last concert, so that could be there. But that's why I didn't complete it, and I'd be happy to complete it if there was another opening, just to have our voice in there.
Yeah. Yeah, so when I'm sending out an email, I can just do a direct link, perhaps because it's coming from SurveyMonkey. That might be an issue. I
Mhm.
think though you just got to keep trying. I noticed you said I sent the one and we had maybe 15 people fill it out. I sent and it was in the newsletter. Again, are you seeing their newsletters? Is anybody seeing our newsletters?
Yeah, I got it in the newsletter, but it was kind of buried. There was a lot of content in your
Mm-hmm.
newsletter, but I don't think I got a direct link ever.
Interesting.
I'm just looking.
I got it. I filled it out.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah. I'm like, I definitely got it.
Well, this is part of the thing too, right? We have members that will have so many different contacts, and
Yeah, so
we'll
not always
sometimes
going to
work
the
with
right person.
we'll sometimes work with the marketing people, and maybe they're not the person that would
Fills out the survey.
normally fill out this survey. Sometimes we would want your um, VP or the owner or whatever. So sometimes it's a matter of the contacts. Like for some of our members, we might have 5 or 6 different contacts listed. Well, who's the one to get it? If it's defaulting to the marketing person may look at it and go, well, this isn't for me. And maybe they share it internally and maybe they don't. So this is I guess part of our issue too. We're not always connecting with the right person that needs to get our information.
Yeah, like Julia, if you're not on our as the main contact, I think it's probably Kate, so that would be why Kate got it. Yeah, so that could be the issue as well. But I think
Because other times, sorry, we will send it out to 5 people from a place, and then we get feedback from them going, why are you sending it out to all of us? We don't need this. So it's like damned if you do, damned if you don't. You never know which thing you need to send out to everybody and which thing you just need to send out to the one person, and hopefully it gets disseminated internally to the right person. So it's and as people change at organizations, the one person that was our main contact that would share it internally is not there anymore, and somebody new is, and they're not sharing it. So it's this is our continued struggle after 20 years of being here.
But I think it's a good point that if you're not receiving it because it's likely that some people just aren't getting it. It could just be going into the junk mailbox. So I'll keep that in mind for sending a direct one as well, rather than sending it from SurveyMonkey. Good point. Yeah, so thank you everybody. Thank you all for joining us, all your insights and for your suggestions, particularly on how to get that survey out to more people, have more people filling it out. Look at us. We're just under an hour. We only wanted an hour, so we did well. So thank you again. Appreciate your time. And I hope you all learned something from this. And if you wanted to look at this, it will be on our YouTube channel within the next week. And yeah, so thank you so much. Have a great day.
Yeah,
Thanks.
thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.